Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Vinland Saga Season 2, Episode 2! I already watched Episode 1 of this Season 2 just some minutes ago. If you want to see my reactions and my thoughts about it, I'm gonna put the link into the eye if you want to watch all of my reactions and my thoughts to all of the Season 1 with all of the episodes, you know, all of my videos for them into the chronological order, so you're not gonna have to search for them and all, and you're just gonna watch them like that with me. It's on the playlist that I made for Vinland Saga that you can find right there into the eye in case you can be interested if you want to rewatch all of Vinland Saga with me, maybe. The first episode was surprising because we were not with our guys, you know, with Thorfinn, with Canute, with anyone. And in fact, we began to follow a new character. The fact that we're beginning the season 2 with that character, the presentation of that character, it's really to say, okay, this guy is gonna be important. And the fact that we finished the season 1 with him, you know, with these 3 characters, we couldn't know who they were truly, and they were like a teaser for the season 2. It's really to say, okay, this guy is gonna be important. And at the end, we're discovering that he might be important because he's gonna be close to Thorfinn. At least he met Thorfinn, and for him also that's something really important with the fact that he's saying himself that he lost everything. He lost all of his family, he lost home, you know, and he lost hope also of being free one day. And he's saying all of that like, I lost hope and then something happened and Thorfinn happened, you meeting Thorfinn, that was what happened for you, and maybe after that you found a family, you found a place to call home, or at least you were searching for it. You know, I'm thinking about Vinland for sure, and maybe you found hope again to be free at some point, because Thorfinn is claiming really loud that he's free and all. You know what I think about that? You know that I think that it's not that free. You know, when he had that conversation with the girl with a slave who was a slave during the season 1, I told you about it, like he was judging her like you're just a slave and all, but at the end of the day, Thorfinn was following a guy not because he appreciated him, not because he wanted to be with him, but because he wanted to kill him at some point. He hated Askeladd, he wanted to kill Askeladd, but no matter what, he was following Askeladd, he was obeying to Askeladd's orders. You were a slave also, Thorfinn, but you were a slave in fact to yourself, to your own desire of revenge. That was truly something for him, so right there maybe he's free, but at the same time he didn't come back home, he disappeared again. We saw that Leif is still searching for him. The fact that after all of this time, after finding him, after Thorfinn refusing to follow him, he's still searching for Thorfinn. Leif has the biggest heart that this entire world ever had, you know, like for a human being to act. Einar, maybe you're not a slave for that guy, you're just a worker for him, but no matter what, at the end of the day, why are you right there, Thorfinn? Why you didn't come back home? Why you didn't go with Leif searching for Vinland? If you truly want to honor your dad, you can do that. Because you were mad about not having your revenge, you know, for your dad on Askeladd, because you think that because of that, you know, like you don't have any honor, you didn't have the honor back for your dad, because you're ashamed of coming back home, because it's too late to come back home, because of what, Thorfinn? What excuse did you find? Not that I don't think that he truly thinks so, that he truly believes into all of what he's saying, all of what he's doing and all. Not at all. And not also that I don't love Thorfinn. On the contrary, I love Thorfinn a lot. But still, even if I love a character, it doesn't mean that I can't see his defaults. For example, for Askeladd, I loved him a lot, but I repeated at several occasions that it's not because of that I couldn't see that as the leader of this pirate, he was killing innocent people, he was torturing, raping, stealing from all of these people, or at least he was allowing all of his men to do it, so he was responsible for it, I loved Askeladd, but I could see that for Askeladd, like I love Thorfinn, but I can also see and repeat since episodes, since seasons now, that emotionally he's still a kid, and that's why he had at least some impulsive moves. He was not really thinking well during emotional moments. He couldn't decide to come back home. He was blinded by this desire of revenge and all. And really, during the entire season 1, being blinded like that by this desire of revenge, being emotionally a kid until the end, he never imagined a future for himself, a real life, what he could do after having this revenge. So when Askeladd is getting killed and not by him, for sure I can imagine that Thorfinn is totally lost, or at least was totally lost just after that. And I said during the intro of the episode 1, he's not gonna come back home. No, I know my Thorfinn, I know how he's functioning, no. I don't know for what reason, what excuse, but he's not gonna do it. And I was right. And yes, Einar lost all of his family, lost his home, lost hope of being free. I said it also, I can't hide it, even if I think that really Einar has a kind heart, how he was thinking, about people and all, he has truly a kind heart, but he's not the most clever guy. Like at several occasions he should have known that it was the right time to act, that it was the right time to shut his mouth, that it was the right time to do things like that and all. And clearly he's not a clever guy, but he is someone nice, someone kind. So I cannot wait also to see how his relationship with Thorfinn is gonna be. At least at the beginning right now, during this episode 2 that I'm gonna watch right now. And I really loved that these writers began the season 2 like they began the season 1, talking about a slave who lost his family, who lost his home, who lost, just the idea of coming back home because there is no place to call home anymore for him. And Thors gave to the first place some hope before dying, talking about Vinland, a place where you can be free, where you can be with your family and all, where there is no slave. And maybe Thorfinn is gonna give you that hope now, Einar? We'll see, and I'm gonna see that right now because I'm gonna watch this episode 2 right now. Remember that if you want to have my Patreon, on which you can have this episode earlier. On my Patreon we have 4 episodes of advance, meaning 2 weeks of advance, and they have on my Patreon longer reaction part, a lot of time, in fact the full reaction part, and no matter what, with full opacity. So if you want these big advantages and to support me, to help me to continue with my videos and all, it's on my Patreon. I'm a little reactor, so it can be truly appreciated, truly useful, even if it's just for 1 month. Let's go for this episode! No running scene? Still right there? Okay. Can you have a friend, Thorfinn? Oh, so you're maybe not that old? I thought that it was a big time jump and that it was 10 years after that, but maybe not. Yeah. Borrow? So you're truly a slave, Thorfinn, and You're a good master? That's a good offer, you know, to make. You still have hope. You know, he said that he had no hope anymore and all. You look so sad, Thorfinn. Where are your mad eyes, you know, your determination? Iceland. Clearly. Einar is gonna do it, all of that because he wants to be friend. Oh, but what about you, Thorfinn? You're doing that for what? I mean, he chose to be a slave right there, so... Canute told him that he could go away. I don't understand. Huh? For the two of you? You're a slave, remember? Oh, they didn't manage to totally brainwash you about your condition of a slave and all, like I thought during the episode 1. He still has hope of getting free at some point. No, that is mad. When you, Thorfinn, you lost everything. Your anger, your pride, you know, like... Oh, he's not acting like a child anymore and he learned how to hide his anger. He learned from what Askeladd taught him. You're helping his ears. And he's asking you to help also. Use your brain. The fact that you understood how to do it well, you know, to help this horse, to do things like that, that's not a surprise, Thorfinn. He was already clever and all, but your emotional state, I'm still not sure of it. He pushed, you know, the you're okay with that? Me, I would have pushed the you're okay with that, Thorfinn. Ah! You're gonna fall in love right now. Einar, I mean, and that's why you're not gonna say this. Who is she? His daughter or... a slave also? He was disturbed. over there? Mm-hmm. He's a good master. I think so. You know your job with that. Who are you to talk to him like that, like his son? For someone to talk like that, clearly he's not a slave. It's blocked! In front of everyone! No! You're really not that good. So you're not the main character that you think that you are. That's what I guessed, you know. She's a slave. She's not a girlfriend. What? You're encouraging your daughter to... And you're listening to it! Can someone check her? Can someone check the girl? Okay, she's still alive at least. Yes, and you're drunk. You're singing? But he paid attention to the fact that you destroyed some wheat right there. What do you think of that, Thorfinn? But no. You think that it was his village? You were present for one of these villages, no matter what. Why not his? Because I'm binge watching this anime, so I don't need to have spoilers about what is gonna happen next. Maybe the next episode that I'm gonna watch. And no matter what, I'm not watching trailers for episodes. Only trailers for seasons, and clearly not when I'm binge watching something. I want to be surprised by everything which is gonna happen. I hate spoilers like hell, okay? So be careful. Okay, that was a good episode to tell us more about the situation, you know, the context right there. But clearly it didn't tell us anything about what happened to Thorfinn, how he can end up right there, you know, into this place with this guy being a slave. Like really being a slave with this master right there, like what happened to Thorfinn? Because when we left him, Canute was really open to let him go free and really go wherever you want. So how can you end up being a slave? And right there, like, what happened to you? And also what happened to you emotionally? That's the most important part. You know what I said during almost the entire season 1. Physically, he's growing up. Mentally, he's growing up. He's really clever. He's thinking well about stuff. He's connecting dots. Like, really, he's thinking really well, Thorfinn. But emotionally, during the entire season 1, he was just a kid. That little kid, 5 years old, blinded by that rage with this desire of revenge. That little kid watching his dad getting killed, you can take that one and you can put him, you know, at the end of the season 1, emotionally, inside, in his heart, still the same person. Like really still the same heart, still the same way of seeing stuff, emotionally speaking, you know. But right there, clearly, it changed. Because he didn't react, you know, when these guys were talking to them like that, acting with them like that. He didn't get mad, he didn't react, like he has no pride anymore, you know, that big pride that Thorfinn can have. The fact that he talked like that to that girl who was a slave, saying that him is not a slave and all, like right there he's a slave, it's not bothering him, he's accepting everything that they are doing to him. He has no pride, but he has also no anger, no nothing. So I'm wondering, is it something like really the fact that Askeladd died, the fact that you couldn't have your revenge, the fact that you were lost with no purpose in your life, the fact that you feel maybe a little ashamed because you didn't have that revenge for your father, it can explain the fact that you didn't come back home and you accepted that path, you know, that fate of being a slave. Maybe it can explain all of that, and that's why right there you're so empty without anything really. Maybe. Or, and I can't help myself thinking of that, he finally learned his lessons, you know, from Askeladd. Askeladd told him all of his background, his own background, about the fact that he wanted his revenge, but he managed to hide his anger during a long time, so at the right moment he could have his revenge, kill his dad and be able to hide the fact that he did it, you know. So maybe it's what Thorfinn is doing right now and we can't know it, or maybe not for now, but at some point he's gonna do it like that. I don't know. Einar, we are discovering all of this world, you know, this context through your eyes, and that's why, you know, when I'm mad at these people talking like that to him, I can see that he's mad also, but clearly me, I would know that it's not the right time to open my mouth, and for that and that reason, when Einar, not at all. Like I said, it's clearly he's a kind person with a kind heart, but maybe not the most clever guy. But I thought that he lost hope about getting free, not being a slave, and what that master offered them, that thing, you know, do that for me and you're gonna be free. He was really like, okay, let's do it. So he truly wants to be free. He has still that hope and he has still that rage of fighting back, you know. He wanted to report these guys. Finally he stopped because he saw that girl. I don't know who she is, like, I don't think that she's the master's daughter with how she was dressed, and the fact that after that, when we discovered his son, they didn't talk about a daughter, so I think that she's more a slave right there. Did you really fall in love? Did you really fall in love with her? And right there, yes, at the end, when Einar is saying all of his story to Thorfinn, for sure we guessed a big part of it during the episode 1, but Thorfinn remembers him all of this time when he witnessed at first Askeladd was doing all of that with his guys to all of these villages, coming, stealing, torturing, raping, killing. He witnessed that and then he was a part of it. At least he helped to do it. So I'm wondering, like, was it truly one of these villages? Like, are you responsible for Einar villages, or did you witness it at some point, or just you're making that parallel to your mind that you know what Einar is talking about, and yes, it's like that. But Thorfinn, I thought that you were older. Like, you know, I thought that the time jump that we had between seasons, it was more than 2 years, maybe more, something like 6, 8, 10 years. When in fact, the fact that is that little, maybe not that much, you know, I thought that he was middle of his 20s, when maybe it's just beginning of his 20s. Maybe not even that. I don't know. I really think that this master is a good guy. He's clearly not helped, you know, by his son, but him, it seems like a good person, at least a good master, for how we can imagine master like that during that period of time. Okay, I'm gonna stop this session of binge watching, this video right there, so it's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now, bye!
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.